Good morning and good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to this session on gastroesophageal reflux disease. I'm Lawrence Ho from the National University of Singapore, and it's really my distinct honor as well as a pleasure to be able to chair this session together with the president of Tokyo Life, who is Professor Inoue. As you already been attending this conference, we witnessed the masterpiece live demonstration on this per-oral endoscopic fundoplication this morning, also a treatment for GERD. And today, we are going to hear from two speakers on other procedures which can be applied to treat gastroesophageal reflux disease.
I'd like to introduce the next speaker. It's my great honor to introduce Dr. Amit Maideo. So everybody knows him well. He's a champion of ELCP. Everybody knows. Actually, he invited me couple of years ago. I visited Mumbai, his hospital, and then I saw his great performance for GERD. That was a GERD X. So he will talk about. But anyway, so his performance was so good and much close to anti-reflux surgery. So done by flexible endoscopy. Then I requested him to give us this lecture. So, Amit, please start your lecture.
So I would also like to thank, it's a great honor and privilege not only to be invited for the Tokyo Live by Professor Inoue, but to be introduced by him also. And it's my great pleasure to talk to you on this newer technique, what we call as endoscopic full thickness plication by using the GERD-X device. So after going through my recorded lecture, then we can take these questions and then we can discuss in detail about all these things. So can you start my lecture? I would like to first of all thank Professor Inoue for giving me this opportunity to talk to you today in the Tokyo Live Global Endoscopy Network on the use of GERD-X in gastroesophageal reflux disease. In connection with this presentation, I have no conflicts of interests or any disclosures to be made. As all of us know, GERD or gastroesophageal reflux disease is quite common all over the world, and a substantial proportion of the population suffers from either weekly or monthly heartburn, thereby reducing their quality of life or subjecting them to complications like Barrett's metaplasia, dysplasia, or sometimes early cancer in the esophagus. The normal anti-reflux mechanism in human beings is usually contributed by these 6 major factors. The first is the basal ileus pressure of the lower esophageal sphincter. The second is the Pinchcock action of the diaphragmatic crura, which occurs during inspiration. The third is the acute angle of His. And fourth, the gastroesophageal flap valve, both of them contributing to prevent reflux of gastric contents into the esophagus. The fifth is the posterolateral location of the gastric fundus. And sixth is the proper motility of the esophageal body itself. In clinical practice, there are 2 broad types of patients which come to us for treatment. The first is those patients who have got a Hill's grade 1 or 2 or a lax cardia on an endoscopic appearance of the lower esophageal sphincter, and those who have got a normal crural sphincter, a reduced ileus pressure, but an absent angle of His, and who are PPI dependent or PPI refractory. The second subset of patients which we also see commonly are those who have got a wide open crural sphincter, what actually is a Hill's grade 3 or 4 type of hiatus hernia, or a gastroesophageal flap valve, normal or a reduced ileus pressure, absent angle of His, and an altered position of the stomach fundus. The first type, that is a lax cardia or Hill's grade 1 and 2, are most suitable for endoscopic treatment. Endoscopically, we can do endotherapy for GERD by 2 basic ways. First is augmentation by using radio frequency waves of the lower esophageal sphincter using the device called Stretta, or we can also do remodeling of the GE flap valve by a variety of techniques. The first is the TIF or the transoral incisionless fundoplication, or the second is endoscopic stapling using Muse, or we can do a mucosectomy or a mucosal ablation of the LES on the lesser curvature side using the technique of ARMS or ARMA. And lately, we have been also doing endoscopic full thickness plication using the Gerdex device. The first clinical trial on the Gerdex device was published in 2018 in surgical endoscopy by this German group. And you can see from this prospective trial, this is the device which was used. This device has basically got a handle and it has got a shaft and a distal end which is flexible. Now at the handle you have got two knobs, a big wheel and a small wheel. The big wheel is to turn the distal end in a U-shaped position. The small wheel is to lock the big wheel. Then we have got a lever by which we can open and close and fire the distal arm. Then at the tip of the distal arm, we can put disposable staples, and we also have a spiral-shaped helix coming out between the two distal arms. From 2018 to 2020, in our own clinical experience of 60 patients of PPI-dependent GERD, on whom we performed the endoscopic full thickness plication using the Gerdex procedure, the technical success was good. There was a significant reduction in the GERD-Q score as well as a significant normalization of the DBSTRS score. And at 6 months, when we followed up these patients, almost 70% of the patients had completely discontinued PPIs. In some patients, we did have some adverse events like chest pain in almost 17%, and one patient had GI bleeding because of a pseudoaneurysm at the left gastric artery, which was treated by embolization. I'm going to show you now the actual procedure, the Gerdex procedure in patients who have got a PPI-dependent GERD. So here you can see that I'm holding the Gerdex device in the right hand and the shaft of the Gerdex device in the left hand. And normally, while performing the procedure, it has been traditionally described that we have to hold the Gerdex device by holding its two arms like this. However, in reality, when we perform the procedure, we have to actually rotate this device in a clockwise or anti-clockwise fashion so as to bring the arms properly for attaching or applying the full thickness plication on the lesser or the greater curvature of the stomach. You can see this big wheel and the small wheel. By rotating the big wheel in upward direction similar to an endoscope, we can turn the tip of the Gerdex device in a complete U-turn so that the tip can be brought towards the LES. The end of the Gerdex device, there are these two metallic arms on which we can actually fit the disposable staple. So first, before applying the staple, we have to move this lever in the open position by pushing it ahead and then turning it towards the right. And then by pressing this handle, we can open the two arms at the distal end of the Gerdex device. Once this is opened, we are going to apply the staples, which are disposable. So on one side is the receiving end of the staple, which has got the plastic pledget, whereas on this side is the actual staple itself, which has got these two needles to which this thread is attached. Now to apply the staple completely through and through the tissue, we have to pull the wall of the stomach between the two arms. So therefore, in the middle of these two arms, you can see this small channel through which we can pass inside a spiral-shaped helix. This preloaded helix is now pushed inside through this small channel and it comes out between the two arms of the Gerdex device. You see that the helix is coming out. It is covered with a plastic sheath, which is basically for protection. However, the plastic sheath goes back when you push the helix against the wall of the stomach, and the spiral enters the tissue. So after catching the tissue, we have to pull the tissue between the two arms of the device. And then, in vitro, I'm going to demonstrate to you on a sponge how we actually fire the staple. So now we are putting the sponge in between the two arms. And then I bring the lever on the handle by pushing it ahead to the closed position. Then again I'm going to fire the staple, but before complete firing, only closing the two arms. And only when I confirm that it is in the right position, then I move that lever to the fire position and then again press the handle, and this fires the needles through and through the tissue into the pledget which is on the opposite side. So after doing this, the first thing to do while doing the procedure is to release the helix, open the two arms, and then by twisting movement, we can actually take out this sponge. And if you were to carefully observe, this is how well we can apply the full thickness suture. On this side, you can see the two needles which have gone across, and this is the plastic pledget on the other side. While performing the procedure, the first thing to do is to do an upper GI endoscopy, inspect the lower esophageal sphincter, and see exactly where we want to apply the plication. Here you can see a lax ALES. Then we pass the endoscope in the antrum and place a stiff guide wire which has got flexible tips at both the ends. We gently inflate the stomach, push the guide wire inside and start pulling the endoscope out. Here you can see the loose ALES. So now wire is pushed inside, the endoscope is now gently pulled out, and once the endoscope is pulled out, the next step is to railroad the Gerdex device over the wire. So the handle of the Gerdex device is held in the left hand, and with the thumb we can move the big wheel up and down. The wire is railroaded through the distal end, that is through the disposable pledget and disposable staple, through the channel of the Gerdex device and brought out proximally by using this special plastic attachment. Then a gentle traction is given on the wire, and the endoscopist holds the shaft of the Gerdex device like an endoscope, and by turning the big wheel up and down, gently maneuver it under feeling across the oropharynx and then deep inside into the stomach for almost 65 centimeters. Once this is done, the wire is pulled out, and then we inflate some air by using a manometric cuff to inflate the stomach. After this is done, we are going to pass an ultra-thin gastroscope through the channel of the Gerdex device. And to facilitate entry of the ultra-thin scope, we are going to lubricate it with a little bit of silicone oil. Here you can see the ultra-thin scope going inside through the Gerdex device now into the stomach. After taking a U-turn, you can see, and after rotating the handle of the Gerdex device, the big wheel, the whole Gerdex device tip can be brought into a U-turn until it comes towards the lower esophageal sphincter. The next step is to rotate the entire handle of the Gerdex in a clockwise direction or anti-clockwise direction to bring it towards the lower esophageal sphincter and on the lesser curvature side. So here you can see I am rotating it in the anti-clockwise direction so as to bring it towards the lesser curvature side of the ALES. But the tip is too near the shaft. So by moving the big wheel, I'm going to take the tip a little bit away from the shaft, lock the big wheel, and then move the lever in the open position and open the arms of the Gerdex device. After opening the arms, I again reorient the whole device in such a way that we can fix the helix properly in the tissue without catching the esophageal mucosa. So now I'm pushing the helix ahead until I come to a right location, a right position, and once the position is properly confirmed, I push it a little bit further and start rotating in a clockwise direction. So that spring or the spiral enters the tissue, and once it enters, I'm going to pull the helix back so that the whole tissue gets pulled between the two arms. At this time, I gently rotate the shaft of the Gerdex, pull it a little backward so as to bring more tissue, and then close the arms. Once we know that the arms are closed in a proper fashion and the plication is the right location, then I bring it to the firing position and I fire the staple. After firing, the first thing to do is to release the helix by rotating it in an anti-clockwise direction. And then I open the arms. So once the arms are open, you can see that the tissue is fixed to the Gerdex device. To release that tissue, you have to do a rotatory movement clockwise and anti-clockwise and gently push the device inside. This way, the staples remain inside and the device gets released from the tissue. Then I'm going to close the device arms. And then unlock the wheels and gently pull the Gerdex device out of the stomach. This is also done by a little jerky movement by which the entire device becomes straight. After which now I'm going to do our normal upper GI endoscopy, which shows that the originally lax lower esophageal sphincter is now appearing quite intact and tight. So we pass the endoscope through the LES inside the stomach and take a U-turn to see the effect of Gerdex. And as you can see here, the appearance after endoscopic full thickness plication is almost similar to that as if we have achieved a surgical fundoplication. In fact, if you were to see before and after the procedure comparison, on the left side you can see a loose and a lax LES, whereas on the right side you can see here that this is a properly constructed or a remodeling of the lower esophageal sphincter. Thank you for your attention.
Sir, thank you very much, Amit. Great demonstration.
Thank you.
And we are so fascinated with this device. So your technique, and may I ask you? So used to be we know the esophagus. That was the I think it was the vertical fundoplication. So this way. So arm is coming back to the endoscopy side, the vertical direction, but your technique, your Gerdex device, it's going the horizontal way, and the approximates the both sides of the mucosa and muscle layer together, and then make a very after your procedure, junction looks like after initial fundoplication it looks.
Yes.
So it's really great. So and also, so this is my comments, but the point of this device is the shaft itself as a bougie, worked as a bougie. So this device, if we using this device make a tight approximation, even though the patient has less risk of stenosis. So do you comment on it? So temporary stricture or temporary, yes, like that. So
yes, actually this was a very useful, very important comment. As you rightly said, even when we do a surgical fundoplication, sometimes the surgeons put a bougie inside the esophagus only to make sure that the tightness is not too much. So the Gerdex device itself is so thick because it accommodates the ultra-thin scope that itself acts as a bougie. So whenever we do Gerdex, therefore, we can never tighten it so much that it causes dysphagia.